All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. You already know how I feel about Fridays. Like everybody knows how Madam President feel about Fridays. I'm a Friday girl. I was born on a Friday, which also, in my line of work, I love Fridays. In fact, I used to like to treat a Friday like a Saturday and enjoy a Saturday as if it was a Sunday. So, yes, I'm that girly. I'm a Friday girl. Let me play my theme song. Like I said before, happy Friday. I'm so glad and so thrilled to be here with you all. It's a blessing. Before I go any further, I say a really quick prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for waking us up this morning. Thank you for allowing us to see this Friday. Thank you for allowing us to be on this side of earth. We appreciate you. We know without you, nothing is possible. We look to you for all things, your goodness, your grace, your mercy, your favor, your friendship. Amen. In your name we pray, amen. All right, so there's a few things that's brewing in the news, but I'm going to keep this Friday on a high note for the most part. I don't want to, I want to keep it on a high note. That's important to me today to stay on a high note. Um, I'm looking for my people. Let me open up the chat. Where you from? I'm Madam President, born and raised from Chicago. I live in ATL. So if you in Atlanta, put ATL. Where you from? If you're from Alabama, Arkansas, LA, wherever you're from, Florida, put it in the chat. It's always fun to know where folks are from. It's always fun to know where folks are from. Well, just to let you know, I saw a few things happening online. I just want to keep you informed that the Trump administration is going after all monies due with a vengeance. They worse than a payday loan company. They are coming after all of the money. I don't know if you can see this, but if you can put this, if you can see this, put student loans in the chat. If you can see this, put student loans in the chat. If you can see this, put student loans in the chat. Let me read to you. What's up, Texas? I see you. So it says the Trump administration is restarting student loan collections this summer after a 5-year break. Around 5.3 million people with defaulted federal student loans could have their wages garnished, and nearly 200,000 are already being warned that their Social Security and other federal benefits could be seized as early as June. This marks a big shift from the Biden era pause and relief programs during the pandemic. Experts are alarmed that the Education Department is giving just 30 days notice instead of the usual 65 days and maybe skip normal collection procedures. Retirees are especially at risk. Over 2.9 million Americans aged 62 and older have student loans, a 71% increase since 2017. And losing part of their Social Security could mean missing essentials like food and transportation. To avoid garnishment, borrowers in default should contact the default resolution group and consider options like income-driven repayment, loan rehabilitation, or temporary forbearance. Advocates are encouraging retroactive forbearance to cover missed payments while getting back on track. Somebody say trap. Would I tell you that the student loan trap was crazy? There is no way that most people that went to college, attended college, could not go and get a $50,000 personal loan. So most people who attend college can't go to the bank and get a $50,000 personal loan, or can't go to the bank and get a $50,000 business loan. For some reason, that collateral, that transaction for personal use is not allowed. But the arrangement for student loan education is that they'll give you the 20,000, the 30,000, the 40,000, the 50,000. because the objective is you will work and become a productive member of society and you will pay it back. Then we have the outstanding interest. Most other countries, I will say, other countries don't have this predatory interest on their student loans. Like they, you know, it doesn't cost the amount that it costs in America. So, with that being said, the challenge about the student loans is that they allowed us to get the student loans, and then for the most part, the job market, you know, became a little bit challenging for a lot of people, not everybody, but some people. So I have a different perspective about education. Of course, I believe having a specific um, thing that you master, if you are in finance, accounting, things that have a specific responsibility. Okay. So like the business degree, that's broad. You got people with business degrees that's doing customer service for Xfinity. No disrespect. I'm just calling a spade a spade. So the challenge is that, we got the high student loan debt and then the occupations did not follow. Now, I heard a sister say, and I cannot say that I don't disagree. She said that education wasn't as expensive until we became recipients of it. Now, if you take a look now, the current climate of America is telling so many people go after these jobs, high paying jobs with no degree. That feels a little bit like a bamboozled situation. You telling people to come and apply for the jobs, get the money, and they don't need a degree. Well, while you were just talking for 2 decades, how everybody needs an education. And don't get me started with my brothers and sisters who have PhDs in areas that, are not easily employable. So all that to say that the challenge with this entire system is, it's always at odds. So you got Trump, his administration, Biden's administration paused the student loans, and Trump administration says we coming after it with a vengeance, no matter what. Let's see how this goes. I personally believe that the Trump administration, they have a very mob-like strategy on everything. So it's one thing to have an objective to start accumulating money so that you can get a certain ecosystem going, so you can reduce the country's debt. But no, that's BS. You know, it's mob-like behavior. It's always, gimme, gimme, gimme. It's a shakedown all the time. And if you don't, you're gonna get locked up. So all of their procedures seem to be that way. But I don't know. Do you guys have student loans? I mean, we can be transparent as much as you like. Is this going to be a problem? I have student loans, regrettably so. I told the story where I didn't even have to have student loans. I was I was a recruit at a high school to play basketball, full athletic scholarship. I signed a $24,000 contract. My mother did not have to do FAFSA. She didn't have to do it. Do you hear me? They recruited me, flew me in. I got flued out, okay, as a 17-year-old girl to play basketball and got flued out. And I kid you not, I am so favored by the Most High. When we went to have open gym as a recruit would, it was like magic. I don't think I missed the basket. I know you're going to tell me I'm lying, but I kid you not. It was like magic. It was so good. I was like, man, every basket. It was just like, this was my show. This was my time. This was my moment. This was my space. This was my moment. I will never forget it. And then, of course, to whom much is given, much is expected. I told, I think this is TikTok. I let them know that I lost the scholarship. I lost the scholarship because to be a student athlete, you need to be disciplined. To be a student athlete, you have to remember that you're a student first. I convinced myself this is the power of the mind. Whatever a man thinketh, so is he. This is the power of the mind. I convinced myself I didn't feel like it. I convinced myself it's too much. I convinced myself I don't care. I don't want to play basketball past this anyway. Convince myself of all the things to lose a $24,000 scholarship because when you're young, you think you know everything. Um, you think you got it all figured out, and you realize and you come to the conclusion that man, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard. You could do it and most of all, I could have graduated from college completely debt free. But I didn't. As the grandma used to say, you don't know fat meat is greasy. So all that to say, I got to start paying back student loans or continue paying student loans. But I didn't have to be in that number. I had an opportunity to not be in that number, and I still got in it. So as we continue to move on, everybody who has to, deal with the student loan situation, the Creator will give us be a continuous provider for all of our resources, for all of our needs. One thing about what I love to tell people is, I could lose resources, but God cannot. I could lose, access, but the Creator cannot. So there is always an abundance. Um, there's always an abundance. There's always an overflow. I'm changing my mind. I'm telling you, I'm transforming my mind. That's my objective this year. That's my mindset this year is to transform my mind. I want to transform my mind, want to transform my heart. I want to have a complete transformation. A lot of times people think that the transition all the time is where the transformation comes. But truth be told, the transformation is always here on this side, on this earth. The kingdom is always within. So all that to say that Bill Gates says that he giving all his money, away. So if you know Bill Gates or if you want to know Bill Gates, he's saying that he got money for you. Bill Gates shares plan to distribute virtually all of his wealth over the next 20 years before closing his foundation. So on Thursday, Bill Gates announced that he will increase his charitable donations to $200 billion over the next 20 years. According to CNBC, Gates, the fifth richest person, announced the move in a blog post on Thursday, citing the changes within the world as the motivation. He said, people will say a lot of things about me when I die, but I am determined that he died rich will not be one of them. There are too many urgent problems to solve for me to hold on to resources that could be used to help people. It's noted that the $200 billion commitment pledged by Gates is an assumption that his charitable foundation's endowment will grow through investments. After virtually all of his wealth has been given away, his foundation will close at the end of 2045. So let's break this down a little bit. The endowment is the percentage that companies, let me get this right. The endowment is the percentage that companies accumulate in general. This is like, you could have your own pension. Well, companies have their endowment. These large companies who makes hundreds of millions of dollars annually, they have to have an endowment, which means that this is literally like money untouched that's going to be made out of interest no matter what. But some of the things that I wonder about Bill Gates is he makes healthy contributions to the world, but we cannot deny that he is also a person who, is very destructive to the world. I mean, he has literally agriculturally been gangster on food. He's been gangster on agriculture. He's been gangster on modifications and making fake mosquitoes. He has his hands in a lot of things that do not help humanity. So the idea that he's also going to donate 200 $200 million to humanity, I don't know what's going to be the balance. So I don't know. It's like who are you going to be helping after you destroy everybody? I don't have a clue. So all that to say, Gates, he's giving away money. Maybe everybody can hit him up and let him know that he can start with these student loan payments. The next thing I will talk about is there was this big 12-foot statue that's been placed in New York, Times Square. Let's take a look at that. Let's read on this really quickly. This statue has gotten a lot of buzz. All right, if you can see the statue, say statue in the chat. If you can see the statue, say statue in the chat. If you can see the statue, say statue in the chat. All right. So let me just read this. The public artwork by Thomas J. Price in Times Square has gone viral and received mixed reviews. Here's what we know. Title and the artist. The statue is titled Grounded in the Stars. J. Price, a British artist known for sculptures that explore race, identity, and representation. Description of the statue: a 12-foot tall bronze sculpture of a fictional young Black woman. She wears casual, contemporary clothing and stands in a relaxed pose, contrasting traditional heroic or idolized figures often seen in monuments. Purpose and message. The artwork challenges who is typically celebrated in public art. Price aims to represent marginalized individuals, particularly Black women, in a monumental form to elevate their presence in everyday society. It is meant to provoke reflection about inclusivity, visibility, dignity in public spaces. Location and context. Installed at Broadway and 46th Street in Times Square, one of the most iconic and high traffic public spaces in the world, it contrasts with other permanent statues in Times Square, which largely depict white male historical figures. The sculpture is at ground level, inviting engagement by people who passes by. The details. The statue will be on display through June 17, 2025. It's part of a broader project supported by Times Square Arts, Hauser and Worth Gallery. Somebody said, why does she have to look like she has an attitude? Do you all see the statue? I want to make sure you all can see it. Okay. Do you all think she looks like she has an attitude? Or is she just standing? Or does she look like she got an attitude? Somebody said that it looks like she has an attitude. Is she just standing, hands on her hip, make the backbone slip? Mm. Somebody said, why y'all hate yourself so much? 90% of your mothers and aunties look just like this. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that the statue is a representation or promotes dignity? And do you think the statue is a motion of a forward direction for any form of, I don't know, progressiveness within the Black community? Do you feel as if the statue is representing inclusivity? Um, inclusivity to what? It's a massive statue, which this artist was featured, I think, in LA as well. I wanted to go to LA and see this artist exhibit. I had saw similar work, I believe, by this same artist online floating around. And I thought the exhibit was really nice. I wanted to check it out, but I never checked it out. I didn't go. Somebody said it looks like she's standing on business. Mocha Girl says we as Black women are not angry. I agree. Why do we have to wear the badge of being angry? I just want to know, is the statue a requirement? Is the statue a replacement to what is reparations? Which this was something really nice in the city of in the state of Georgia, the city of DeKalb declared a reparations task force. Let me show this to you because this was really big recently. This was 3 days ago. I don't want to read this whole article to you though, so I'll just let you see some of it. Um, if you could see it, say reparations, put reparations in the chat. If you could see it, put reparations in the chat. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you can see it. Okay. Reparations in the chat. Reparations. Okay, perfect. So Decatur approves reparations task force apologize to Black residents. So here's what we have. The Decatur City Commission unanimously adopted a resolution on Monday to create the Decatur Reparations Task Force. The task force, which will have 11 members, will develop recommendations that will be presented in a final report in around 3 years. The city also formally apologized for its role in perpetrating discrimination, oppression, subjugation, and the resulting harms profiting from policies rooted in the system of white supremacy. The city of Decatur has taken a big step toward reparations for African American residents who suffered historical discrimination in the area. The challenge that I have with this is that why the heck do we need 3 years to report back on something that we already have a documented 500 years of? You don't need a reparations task force to create or gather the documentation of what transpired, the legalities behind what transpired with segregation, zoning, education. I mean, it's historical. We have it as a historical fact. We can go back to Black people applying to universities and them being denied based on being Black. So reporting back after 3 years just feels a little bit unnecessary. Mocha, I'm reading a comment from Mocha Girl as she was talking about the statue of the Black girl. She said, I work with angry, irate, and rude Caucasians every day. Do you think Black people ever get reparations? This is a serious question. Will Black people ever get reparations from America? Do you all believe that you deserve reparations? Now, I'm pro reparations, and the reason that I'm pro reparations is because the lineage, the legacy, the continuous disregard for Black folks and how A lot of things were intentionally set up for Black people's demise. I mean, neighborhoods, education, food deserts, like all of that is intentional. You know, you live in an urban community, you can't get to a store, you can't get to healthy quality food. That is intentional. That is not by mistake. You have a child who's, you know, 15 reading on a sixth grade level. That is not a mistake. It is intentional. The war, you know, on Black neighborhoods, the disproportion of resources, all of that is intentional. It is not a mistake. Therefore, I am pro reparations because most people's wealth, most people's opportunity is rooted in their inheritance. And if we have inherited the side of America that is not favorable to our children, then I believe in reparations. That's my belief. What do you believe? I mean, do you all believe in reparations? Don't forget, this is Fly Nubian Queen, brought to you by flynubianmoney.com. You should text Queens to 87948. If you want to get your money up, if you want to get your mind up, this is the first place to start. Reparations is essential. America gave Jews reparations. The Holocaust wasn't even held in America. America gave the Native Americans reparations. I mean, they should have. This is their country. I believe in reparations, period. I believe in reparations the same way that, you know, the other communities believe in all the things that they have built, all the different universities. We have universities. People always say things like, well, what you gonna do? We have done everything. We've done everything. We have enough historically Black colleges. Let me tell you, I don't know if you all read this book, but this Black woman, she wrote this book talking about how we had started our own programs to become doctors. But guess what slowed down that institution? White people decided that they were going to have different certifications and they were going to be the ones that determined what schools could operate. Oh, this school is a standard. They have this and they have that. They're clear to operate and they're clear to be funded. Well, who did that? A white man. So what happens when he gets to Black schools preparing these students to be doctors? Oh, they don't have what they don't have this and they don't have that. Okay, they can't do it. It interferes with how many Black people become doctors. It interferes. Yes, give us the reparations. I know the history. Run it. And people say, well, you never picked cotton. People say, you never picked cotton. Let me tell you something. We are not far removed from cotton picking. Personally, no, I have never picked cotton, but I have a great a great grandmother's mother who picked cotton. My grandmother could have picked cotton. She didn't. My grandfather, sharecroppers, the sharecropper, what did they do? First of all, there was no Reconstruction period for Black people. Once they determined that slavery was over, most Black people returned to their slave masters, the colonizers' headquarters, and said, hey, could we work and could we work for room and board? And I keep telling you all, most of you all, what are we doing right now? You're working for room and board, but I bind that. You will not work for room and board anymore. You will have an abundance. You will have an overflow. You will not do that. You will change your whole trajectory on your life once the thinking starts to change about who you are. They're the problem, not you. You're not the problem. Your children have the ability to be whatever it is you want them to be. Now, the problem becomes you psychologically keep thinking, keep telling your kids that they have to be like them, which confuses them. Mama, I'm better than them. I can't be like them. I'm better. And I need y'all to understand that. You're better. You dying hard trying to be accepted by folks who can't even stand next to you. Can't stand next to you. People say, I'm going to do this video because I'm going to go because it's past time. But I was looking at this TV show called, I don't know what TV show I was looking at, but it was on Max. And the TV show was had a tagline. So they was doing this, it was basically an ad where Cinemax or Max, HBO Max, whatever it is now, they were doing a ad. And in the ad, it was very engaging. I'm a person I enjoy marketing and advertising. I'm always interested in colors. I'm always interested in words. I'm always interested in what makes people feel connected, what makes people feel. So therefore, I find I have a natural interest in things as it relates to TV, cinema, statues, art. I'm a girl that's for the arts in general. So, anyways, I want to say, what's up, my girl, Clean Coochie Beats? I don't know your real name, but I laugh every time I see your name. But good morning. What's up to you? I appreciate you. I always love your support. The name is so distinctive. I always notice it when I see it. But I was watching a show on Max, and they have this very engaging way that they bring the audience in. And guess what the tagline is? The tagline, this is a recent ad. You got to remember, they pay millions and millions of dollars on ads and advertising and ad agencies and connecting you and making you click and making you like and making you buy. The ad says, Max, it hits you different. Is that not slang that Black folks been talking for the last 2 years? Oh, that hit different. Oh, that hit right there. That hit different. This is what they do to Black folks stuff. Snap. Did you hear that? They take it, they package it, they bottle it up, and here you go, and they sell it to you. Can't sell me. So I'm sitting, college educated with the student loans. I'm sitting and I hear that all white folks on the screen, by the way, all white people on the screen. And the ad says, Max, it hits you different. They stole our slang. I'm going to tell you something else. If you don't believe me, I want you to Google in 2020 when they came out with Black Lives Matter. When Black Lives Matter came out, it was such a constant phrase that everybody began to use the term matters in their advertising. I'm not lying. I kid you not. I told you I study this stuff. I look at it. I write it down. Verizon Wireless was like, connection that matters. What? Huh? It was ongoing. It was matters. Everything was matters. Matters, matters, matters. Taking our stuff. So when they was talking about Black Lives Matter receiving money, yeah, they're supposed to receive money. They ain't created a tagline that everybody in the world is using. Why can't they? Let me tell you something. When we believe in ourselves, it changes everything. I've told you all year long when you gonna start believing in yourself. Even if it's just a little bit. When are you gonna start believing? You believe everything about yourself that's negative. Oh, you a liar. You fighting hard to tell I'm not lying. I promise. I tell the truth. Let them folks think what they want to think. Let them think what they want to think. Let them think what they want to think. Be my guest. Have at it. People do it to me all the time. I make a video, people I literally make a video and people are like, "Where you get your facts from?" This coming from a black person who don't even know their last name. You talking to me about facts. This is what bothers me about us. You talking to me about facts and you don't even know your last name. Go ask them where they get their facts from. Go ask them why your last name Jones. Go ask them. No offense to anybody that's watching and your last name Jones. It's like the energy is always misplaced. Oh, you don't even know where you get your facts at. You have no clue. You have no clue. Yes, Black folks deserve reparations, period. Deserve, will receive, should get, and we're the only group of people who still excel. I look at how powerful and wonderful Black people are. I look at how hard they tried to destroy you, and you still look good. Y'all see, y'all don't be looking at. Let me tell you, sometimes I can wake up and not feel good. I can wake up and be like, oh, I just don't feel my best. And I can look in the mirror and be like, damn, you look pretty good to not feel good. Like I'm like, God just did his big one on us, giving us the melanin, giving us the joy, giving us the resilience, giving us the language. The language, you hear me? That hit different. That hit right there. That hit different. Everything. There is no thing that they tried to keep us from that we did not master. Black doctor, golf, tennis, it don't matter. It don't matter. Pilots, fly planes, make planes. My uncle, my great uncle, which is my grandmother's brother, he told me, he said, you had a great uncle. His name was Uncle Joe. And I'm listening to him. He said, yeah, yeah, yeah. He said he never had no schooling. He said, but he can work on anything, hands. He said we had a plane that had fell in the backyard. He told us, I'm gonna get this plane working. He said it flew as high as a tall tree. It didn't go very far, but he got it working. This is no education. Do you understand how connected you have to be to the power to have no education and still have the divine power to connect and fix a plane to start working and fly off the ground? But that's not uncommon. Before I go, I just want to let you know the power really quickly too. Think about our grandparents. Think about your grandparents, how everybody loved grandmama. But think about how many people your grandmother was managing. My grandmother, she was a sweet woman. I know some of y'all may not have nice grandmothers, but I have a nice grandmother. And I had a nice grandmother. She's a sweet, I have. You know, her essence is still around. But all that to say that my grandmother, she was mastering everybody. I realized this whole family had all these different personality types. You got her husband, which is my grandfather, come to her. Doris, da 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 da. She handling him. Yeah, da 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 da. Okay. Then here come my mother. You know, Ma, I need this and I this and this has happened. And she's like, and she's listening and digesting. And then here come her other granddaughter, me. I'm like, Ma, this is what happened. Da, 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 da. And she's engaged, tapped in, following up. I just wish I can see like that don't come easy. Half of y'all got 2 kids. Yet some of y'all got 2 kids, 3 kids. They wearing y'all out because you ain't tapped into your power within. It's you can we got grandmamas that was handling gangs, gangs. You hear me? Gangs. Young boys shooting, acting crazy outside. An old woman walk outside, baby. What is y'all doing? Y'all stop that. Go in the house. This time. Fearless, fearless, fearlessness, fearless. I'm praying that God restores your faith. I'm praying that God restores your confidence because I know that the world is heavy, especially for men and women. Black men and women, the world is heavy for you. And most of all, you're always trying to find your place in the world. Your children are trying to find their place in the world. They're trying to find their confidence. They're trying to find their voice. They're trying to find what makes them look nice, what makes them feel good, what makes them happy. They're trying to find the things that they enjoy. Everybody is trying to find their place. They're trying to find their momentum. They're trying to find their purpose. And I'm just going to tell you that you already got it. The biggest mistake that most of us do is we keep looking outside of ourselves for the answers. Thank you, Christina. Yes, we come from the fearless grandmas. That's what I'm talking about. So we keep looking outside of ourselves for the answers. Yes, a couple days ago, I was looking for something. I kid you not, I was looking for something. I think like some plugins for the doors. You know, you want to put plugins. When I open my door, I like to have fresh scents. So I was looking for plugins and I was going to order it on Instacart. And then I said, well, let me see if I have some. I looked in the drawer and I had it. And in that moment, it just reminded me that you have everything that you need. Start looking within. Stop trying to find it outside of yourself. This little braid sticking up like that makes me feel, I don't like it. Sorry about that. And it's still sticking up. Okay. So, anyways, all that to say that I'm glad that I had a chance to be with you all on this Friday. Don't forget, I'm Madam President is moving to podcasting. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing the show every single day. So I'm going to be doing podcasting. I'm going to spend some time on that this weekend as well. If you ever supported a video of mine, you love what I do, don't forget to do 2 things, and that is text Queens to 87948. Also, don't forget to sign up for my e-blast at madampresident.com. We want to make sure that we stay connected. And I want to stay connected with you, and I want to grow, and I want you to grow with me. So let's do that together. All right, I'm going to let you all go. I hope you have a good Friday. And don't forget how wonderful you are. Don't forget how powerful you are. Don't forget that this world is yours. It's yours. This is your world. You are not a supporting actor in this. You are the main character. You know, don't forget that. We up. We hit different. You feel me? We hit different. We hit different. We're giving them their own lingo. They ain't never in their life said, yeah, John, this just hit different. Who you heard say that? We gave them that. But we got to stop giving it away, y'all. And I'll talk about that on Monday. But all right, if you want to connect with me on a deeper level, just strategies or anything, feel free to go to madampresident.com. Go to my stand store from Instagram. You strategize building your profile, your online presence. On Instagram, I have about 30,000 followers. I can be honest with you that I'm not big on followers. I'm all about leaders. You know, hi Janae, hey cousin. Um, I'm big, so I don't want you to have a lot of followers. I want you to have a lot of leaders. All right, y'all. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good day. Bye bye. You ready to eat, Manny?